Hello and welcome. I can't even hold back my laugh. I just look at my face and it's just brutal immediately.
Hey, you're
Hello,
not
everyone.
allowed to make fun of yourself before I make fun of you.
I needed to get it out before you got to me. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Pulse here with the PeakBot team. I am Dillon, joined by my co-founder and co-host Ben. Here on the Pulse with the PeakBot team, we cover all things option selling, everything from exploration to automation. PeakBot is an automated trading platform built for the everyday retail trader. We make it easy, affordable, and transparent for the everyday person to put a stock trader in their pocket and start trading hands free. So excited to get into it. Today on the show, we're going to take a closer look at our watch list, which we have curated and updated hourly during trading windows for our option selling strategies which you may have heard of, like the wheel, the iron condor, credit spread strategies. We love collecting premium over here with PeakBot. So we're going to take a look at our watch list. We are also going to take a look at our portfolios. I'll be setting up my portfolio for the week. I moved a lot of my funds from another broker to not be named on this show over to Tradier to save a ton of money on my fees, on my options commissions. So we'll get into that and a couple other things. I'm sure some housekeeping things, some updates from a PeakBot standpoint. So of course, as always, this is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. However, if you do have questions, do not hesitate to put them in the chat here. You can text or call us as well at the number below on screen. We pride ourselves on being available. And schedule your personal PeakBot demo. You'll get one of us on the line here, and we'll show you everything you need to know about how to automate your portfolio. Anyway, that was quite an intro.
It was, Ben, and I couldn't listen to a second of it after staring at that tan line you got.
So let's just address the elephant in the room. Yeah, I have a horrible tan line on my forehead. I was in the sun all day Friday at a golf outing. What the people can't see is this line as well on the sides. Maybe I'll just show them. So let's just ignore it. In fact, you can see. Can you see up here too? Like,
oh yeah,
the crown of the hat.
Anything that you're wondering if we can see, we can.
It's absolutely horrendous. You know what? One might say, "Hey, put a hat on today, Dillon." Like, no, we're gonna give you guys something to make you laugh. So, but let's get into it, Ben. I'll kick it over to you. Let's pull up our watch list and let's get going.
Alrighty. I will start with the watch list, and then I do want to get into a little bit of NVIDIA. Big moves with NVIDIA over the past week. Definitely warrants some talking about, if you feel me there. So watch list this week. Very, very exciting news coming up. PeakBot Alerts is going to be launched next Monday, July 1st. So this watch list you see here, this is the last week you're going to get this hourly updated data on this watch list for free. Now, I say that like it's a bad thing. Our alert service is only $5 a week. And if you want access to this watch list, not only will it be updated every hour now, but it'll be updated every 5 minutes. And it'll resort the watch list based on expected value. And we could get into what expected value is at another time. But this watch list is going to get a bit of a makeover. We haven't touched it in quite a while. We've been pretty happy with the setup. But in regards to moving forward, if you are automating with PeakBot already, you will have access. If you're not automating with PeakBot, you just use our watch list, you're going to have to head over to our alert service. So if you are interested in that alert service, you got to text us, let us know, get on that wait list. If you sign up on July 1st, you will get 2 weeks for free. Otherwise, there's no trial. We've removed all free trials from PeakBot. There's, the only time you're going to be able to get your trial is on the day of the launch on July 1st. So we're very excited for that. We know a lot of people are excited. Even though it's no longer going to be free, the data is going to be so much more up to date, so much more organized. Better for decision making. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to tease that watch list later on today when Thomas and I live trade at 2 p.m. Eastern. So without further ado, Let's take a look at the top stocks on this watch list. We got Royal Caribbean, ticker RCL, at number 1. Pretty expensive stock. So if you are wheeling this stock, you will need about $15,000, a little less than $15,000 in cash available in your account. You're going to collect a nice premium, about $92 in premium. And when you divide that $92 by the cash needed, it comes out to about a 0.6% return on the week. And of course, we are automating at PeakBot weekly credit spreads. And for this watch list specifically, the strategy we're following is the wheel strategy. So the wheel strategy is you start the week by selling cash secure puts, or in our case, we like to be a little bit safer. We sell the vertical wheel. We'll sell a put credit spread. If we get assigned at the end of the week at expiration, then we'll go ahead and either sell covered calls or call credit spreads, depending if you have your hedge toggle on or off with PeakBot. So we like to look at, of course, bullish trending stocks first at the lower risk level. And then we form this heat map here. We get into neutral trends, lower risk, bearish trends, lower risk. Of course, if you hold a position, you want to continue holding those shares, those bearish trends are the ones that you want to look out for, meaning those are your friendlies. Then we move on to the moderate risk. And again, we'll filter by bullish, then neutral, then bearish. And then we get into our high risk stocks, bullish, neutral, bearish. We know that there's a lot of tickers on here that many people are trading. On Tuesday mornings, Dillon and I recap the previous week and see what were the most automated tickers by PeakBot. And we get Carvana up there, we get Palantir up there. I think Chewy's been up there. Coinbase is usually up there. Lyft is always near the top. But as we can see, these are high risk stocks. And as we can also see, it's high risk, high reward, right? Like if you're trading Chewy this week, you only need $2,500 in your account. You're going to make about $28 in premium per spread here. And that's about a 1.1% return on the week, right? So these are all weekly returns, of course. So when you compound that over the course of a year, I mean, that's pretty good. Nobody's going to complain about that. What you don't see is, if you get assigned and the stock price falls, and or if you take your max loss. I mean, the max loss on Chewy is only $150. But if you take your max loss week after week, that's the downside. That's going to happen. These strategies are set up so that way we statistically win about 70 to 75% of the time. And that's because we are selling the 30 delta and we're buying the 10 delta as a hedge, at least on the put side. And that's how you'll enter into this wheel strategy, whether typically whether you're automating or trading manually. So we've got Royal Caribbean at the top, which is, if you've got a larger account, might be something you want to consider put a lot of that capital to work. If you have a smaller account, General Motors, number 2, paying about a 0.4% premium this week. You only need $4,700. If you're trading just the spread and you're going to close manually before assignment, you only need $150 to trade this. And you're going to collect $20 worth of premium. So that 20 into the 150, that's an even higher return rate. That's a much, much higher return rate. And that's what we see with our trend spread strategy. So I'm going to go down to, and we're going to get NVIDIA on this list sometime this week. And we'll talk about that in just a second, why we want to do all of that. But if we go down to the moderate risk category, we've got tickers WDC, CCJ, and AA at the top of the moderate risk bullish side. Honestly, I'm probably going to look more into these later today just because of, the spreads aren't too wide right now. And I'm really liking the range of premium that we're going to be getting based off of these tickers and where they're at right now. I know, Dillon, you've been a fan of ticker AA, Alcoa Corp, quite some time. How's that been going?
AA has been going well for me, and we'll take a look at our results too, probably at some point on the show. I was just going to say I have all 3 of those on my watch list, my personal watch list to add for our trend spread strategy this week. So when we shift things over in a little bit here on the show, I'm going to be pulling up technical analysis for each of those, and maybe I bet I'm going to add a couple of them to my automated portfolio. So hang tight if you want to see how to automate those contracts with PeakBot. I'll be showing that soon.
Awesome. Okay. Fantastic. Now let's just get down to the high risk, and then we'll talk about NVIDIA. So Chewy, as we saw, top of the high risk category, Coinbase. Now, we say this all the time. We typically remove any tickers that are above like $150 or so. At that point, it just becomes so expensive. And you can see if you're trading the wheel strategy, you need about $21,500 in your account just in case you do get assigned. So that's again something to consider. If you do have a larger account, we only keep Coinbase on because we have a bunch of large accounts that want to trade Coinbase. There's some people in PeakBot that are automating, $1 million a week, which is awesome. I'd love to see that. And Coinbase is a big part of that because you could allocate a lot of capital to this particular ticker. So again, when making your decisions about what you want to trade, it's important to factor in all different data points, and everything that Dillon and I say on this show, or likely will ever say in our life, is not to be misunderstood as financial advice, but this is how we go through our decision-making process. We start with this list. There are other things that we can do. Like I like to open my Tradier account, and we'll get into this chart in a second. But I like looking at the chart. I like looking at this technical analysis tool for a week. And then take a look how many sell, neutral, and buy signals there are. And I like taking a look at the distance between the current stock price and then the strike price that we would be selling. So there's a number of things that factor into at least my decision-making process. And Dillon, I know that you've got some as well.
Yep.
So let's get into NVIDIA, and that's the name of the show. NVIDIA is the MVP. So why is NVIDIA the MVP? And after we talk about NVIDIA, Dillon, I'll kick it over to you to talk about your account here.
Sure.
So I've got NVIDIA's, I don't know, a little over almost a 2-year chart pulled up because I wanted to show the price levels that NVIDIA was trading at, right around, let's say it started 2023. So opening day on 2023, January 3rd, NVIDIA opened at $14.85. That's $14.85. Now, last day or opening day in 2024, NVIDIA opens at $49.24. So that's about a little over a 3 times increase from the beginning of 2023 to the beginning of 2024. So that time frame right there was about a 3 times increase. So if you were holding NVIDIA that whole time, you were loving life right now. And then as we can see here, throughout the course of 2024, it's been almost nothing but up. I mean, we had, it looks like 4 weeks of red in April. It actually looks like pretty much all of April was red, and then recovered there, and then just been, to the moon from there. So if we look at the start of NVIDIA, again, opened at $49.24 at the beginning of the year. This week opened at $132. So that's, again, almost a 3.5 times gain. If you had bought NVIDIA, I'm not talking options or anything. I'm just saying equities. If you had bought NVIDIA on opening day of 23, you'd be up about 10 times your money right now, which is fantastic. And I know a lot of people that did buy NVIDIA back then, and that's really not a long time, right? There's if you're into long-term investing, like a lot of retail traders are, that's really not a long time to see the incredible returns that NVIDIA has provided. Now, when we take a look, compare that to Microsoft, Microsoft definitely bullish over the past couple of years. But if we look at, where it opened on opening day 23, 243, and now it's trading at 449. That's about a 2 times gain. So honestly, nobody's going to complain about doubling their money in a year and a half, but it's certainly not 10xing your money like you could have done with NVIDIA. So for anybody that foresaw that, good on you. That's fantastic, and you're definitely seeing some fantastic gains as a result. And it was just this past week that NVIDIA briefly overtook Microsoft as the most valuable company in the world with a market cap of over $3 trillion. Now, that didn't last for too long. If we look at the stats for today, Microsoft has regained that lead. NVIDIA did dip about 3%. on Friday. So Microsoft has regained that lead. Apple actually surpassed NVIDIA as well to get into the number 2 slot. But I do expect things for NVIDIA to keep looking positive. At least there being a lot of trades within the ticker. And I say that because if we take a look at the most active options chains here, and I'm on barchart.com here, this information is available for you. Take a look at this. So these are options based off of underlying stock. NVIDIA is number 1. That's not a surprise. Tesla's number 2. That's been, Tesla, Apple, AMD, Amazon, GameStop, Palantir. Of course, these are all towards the top typically. But take a look at the difference in volume here. It's insane. 2.9 mil vol for NVIDIA. And then number 2, Tesla, 1.6 mil vol. That's just a crazy difference. So after that stock split occurred, that just opened the floodgates for a ton of retail traders to come in and start trading. So there's just been an insane amount of volume coming in. It's been really crazy to watch, really fun to trade as well. I'm sure we'll be talking about it later when Thomas and I are live trading at 2 p.m. Eastern, live on X, if you're interested in tuning into that. So, why is NVIDIA the MVP? Well, you would have yielded 10x gains over the past year and a half if you just bought and held the stock. Never mind if you bought out of the money options. I can't even imagine how rich those people are. And then when we look at volume, there's certainly a ton of volume and a ton of interest around NVIDIA. So for those reasons, NVIDIA is the MVP. So with that, Dillon, I will give it back to you and your tan line on your forehead to go through your account.
Thank you. Very cool. So I'm going to get my screen pulled up here in just a second, and we'll take a look at a couple different things. So what we're going to be looking at here is my automated portfolio. So anybody who's been following understands that I actually have multiple accounts here. I had my primary account was actually with my Schwab brokerage account. Just moved that over to Tradier. As we can see here, my Tradier account is now loaded up. I had about 16.5 that I moved over from Schwab over into Tradier. Reason being, I love the Tradier platform. Not just saying this because we're here on the hub, but it's true. I also I was spending about $50 to $100 a week in options fees.
That's
so
crazy.
That adds up, right? I think they were charging 65 cents per contract. With Tradier, oh boy, my camera went out of focus. With Tradier, I'm signed up on Tradier Pro, $10 a month, and that gives me no commissions, no fees on options trades. Okay, so I'm saving money immediately. Significant amount, right? Hundreds and hundreds of dollars per month I'm saving. So very excited about that. We're going to get rocking. As you guys can see here, my cash hasn't fully cleared just yet. Just called the Tradier helpline this morning. Very, very helpful and prompt. I'll have all my cash cleared by the end of the day tomorrow. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my automated portfolio, assuming I have just roughly about 5K available in options buying power. All right. So right now in my account, as you guys may have seen there, I'm running a trend spread. And in fact, I'm going to get a banner thrown up in just a minute explaining what the trend spread strategy is. So if we look at my PeakBot account, if we look at my Tradier account, you'll see Zim down here. This was entered for me last Friday, set to expire this week. And along the bottom is explaining what the trend spread strategy does. It sells weekly credit spreads. Okay. It trades with the trend. And I'll get into what that actually looks like on the watch list in just a second. And it also rolls our contracts weekly. So on the day of expiration for this Zim contract, for example, it's set to expire this Friday, the 28th. Well, before the market closes and the day ends, This contract is going to close around 12 o'clock Eastern, and we're going to open up a new one for the following week. Okay, so that's built to avoid assignment. The strategy is built to avoid getting assigned shares and having to buy 100 shares. It's not completely, it's not going to 100% avoid it. There are very rare one-off situations where a buyer may exercise their contract early, in which you get assigned your shares early, prior to the day of expiration. In that case, built into our logic upon the release of this strategy officially on our PeakBot platform, which will be in the next few weeks, we will have the bot then sell the shares for you. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to have your capital set aside and locked up, etc. So we have an active trade on TrendSpread already. I'm going to add a couple other ones here today. And then also my Iron Condor strategy. As you can see, I have the Qs in here with one Condor. So you can see that that's actually set to expire today. Our Iron Condor strategy is a 1DTE strategy. And you can see I have 2 orders open to close these out at 5 pennies if we are getting close to expiration, right? To avoid assignment there as well. So, but let's take a look at a couple things. Ben mentioned a few stocks earlier. I hate to say this, but it's true. Right now, I'm all in on TrendSpread. I'm not actually going to automate any wheel trades this week.
Whoa, no wheel.
Yeah. I'm leaving wheel on the bench this week. TrendSpread's been too good to me. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just for some context, I'm up about 25%, north of 25% since May 1st. My account was at 13K, 13.1, and it got up to 16.5 by the end of last week. And if you're saying, well, you have more cash in your account now, that's because I had some funds already in this Tradier account before moving it over. But TrendSpreads have been very good to me. So my general approach when trading TrendSpread, I'm going to pull up the PeakBot watch list here. I have a couple stocks written down, and I will zoom in before Ben tells me to. But my general approach for the TrendSpread strategy is I take a little bit more risk. I'm comfortable with slightly more volatility in the stocks and the contracts that I'm selecting because I, generally speaking, 99% of the time, don't have to worry about owning the shares, right? With the wheel strategy, that's part of it. Part of the strategy is being assigned your shares, being comfortable owning them, and feeling good about it in the long run. With TrendSpread, it trades directionally, right? Trades with the trend. So what I meant by that was Royal Caribbean, which is actually one of them that I want to check out this week. The stock is currently $151. The trend is bullish, okay? So when we look at the bullish trend, we are pulling that from the 67-day exponential moving average, 67-day EMA, essentially last 3 months of data. And we confirm the trend by looking at the last 10 days and the last 3 days of performance. If 6 of the last 10 days are bullish and 2 of the last 3 days are bullish, that confirms our trend. It gets on the watch list, and that's the trend we're going to trade with. So we're selling options here, right? So if a stock is trending bullish, I want to sell a put on that. If it's trending bearish, like Datadog here, for example, which is another one I've been trading and has been very good to me. In fact, I'm putting that on my list right now. Then we're gonna sell a call, all right? And if it's neutral, like DraftKings here, for example, we're gonna sell an Iron Condor. So that's what we mean when we say it trades with the trend. We want to be fully directional. And the other beautiful thing, although we are looking at the wheel watch list here, so you see this column where it says cash needed if assigned shares. We don't have to worry about that with TrendSpread. The only cash I'm going to need to enter these trades is the $600 in the case of Royal Caribbean here, because that's the width of the spread. If we scroll over here and we look at our strike prices for our put credit spread, we're selling the 30 delta, buying the 10, which gets us a $6 spread between 142 and 148. So that's the only cash I would need to enter this trade. Now, On paper, I like where this is. For trend spread, I typically look for, payment between 0.5% to 1, maybe 1.25 on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Tradier account. I'm going to click research, and I'm going to take a look at what's the ticker, RCL. I'm going to take a look at RCL on here, and then I'm going to go down. It looks like a healthy chart over the last year. I'm going to go down here, and I'm looking at our technical analysis for the week. And this confirms, this is exactly what I want to see here, right? If it's bullish on our watch list, I want to see heavy buy signals. All right. So we got 15 buy signals, 10 neutral, and only 1 sell signal. To me, that's all I need to see. I like it because I'm cool with neutral too. I'm cool with staying flat. I'm still going to win if I stay flat here. So I'm going to go to PeakBot. I'm going to add RCL to my trend spread strategy. The way I do so, I'll zoom in and do it again. Click add new stock here at the top. And in 3 steps, I'm in and out of here. So I'm going to select trend spread. I'm going to type in my stock. Here's RCL. I'm going to do, I'm going to just do 1 contract on this. Now, our budget, the bot is still in beta. Budget is not 100% correct here. That's going to be worked out. I understand by looking at this watch list, I would need about $600 to enter this trade. Okay. So again, this will be fixed by the time it's officially released. But I'm going to add 1 contract here on Royal Caribbean, and we're going to keep rocking here. So that's now added in. And of course, we still have my Zim from last week, which will continue to rock for this week. So let's also take a look. I was taking a look at ticker W. Actually, I want to look at Datadog because that one's been really good to me. Sorry for all the zooming in and zooming out, but you guys will deal. Datadog, bearish, lower risk, paying 0.61, which is $70 in premium. So I'm looking for sell signals here. So if we come over here and I type in Datadog, let's see what we come up with. Okay, right now on the 15-minute, it's strong buy. All right, so Datadog is kind of right in the middle here, which I got to be honest, Ben, we've been doing this for a while. Not often do we see it so perfectly neutral.
Yeah, that's actually like almost as neutral as it could get. 9 sell, 9 neutral, 8 buy.
Yeah, and so on the watch list, quite honestly, I would hope that this would be neutral, but it's not based on the 67-day EMA. So I'm going to pass on that for now. I'd rather see it more on the sell side because I'd be selling a call. I'm going to take a look at a couple other ones here. What else did I have on my list? I had WDC.
Hey, Dillon.
Yeah.
Props to you for not getting emotionally attached to a ticker. I know Datadog's been good to you, but you looked at you followed your criteria, you stuck to your rules, and good
That's
for
it.
you.
That's it. Yeah, believe me, Datadog I've been just really crushing it with that ticker. So here's WDC. We're looking for bullish trend. I'm going to earn $58 in premium approximately on this. So when we look at Tradier, I like this here. 14 buy signals, 8 neutral, only 4 sell. So we're talking, well in the correct direction here. I'm going to add WDC. We're going to go, and by the way, that is $400 worth of capital that I'm going to be setting aside for WDC. Trend spread, WDC, 1 contract. Again, this will be fixed. Pay no attention to the man behind the screen there. I tried to make that funny. Didn't work. Okay. Activate, agree. It was like an Oz reference. But anyway.
You almost nailed it. Not
almost.
quite.
So I'm going to keep rocking here. CCJ, Cameco Corp, also digging it on paper. Only a $2.50 spread. So let's check that one out. Just checking off my list here. So we're going to go back to Tradier. And Ben, if I'm taking too long here at any point, just tell me.
No, I'm good.
Okay. CCJ.
I mean, this is all it takes for the entire week. I think that's the important point here. I mean, Dylan, you've been doing this right now on screen for 10, 15 minutes maybe. Then you're done. That's all you're trading for the week.
Yep. CCJ. Let's not overcomplicate things. Looks great. Gonna add it. In fact, rather than kicking back and forth, I'm gonna say that I want to add that one at the end. Another ticker I want to look at was I've been looking at all bullish trends. I know Datadog was bearish, but I didn't love it. So let's look at another bear, Roku. So on the watch list, Roku is all the way down here. Bearish, technically high risk, paying $45 in premium on a $3 spread. Let's see what it looks like down here. Yes. Love that. Love that. So, by the way, I'm just curious to look at the 1 month chart. Okay, so we had a big drop middle of June here. We're kind of trading in this channel here. I'd like
it looks
to
pretty.
say,
The chart looks kind of neutral.
yeah, it does.
Almost looks bullish from last week going into this week, but depending where you could set up your, like, I'm definitely going to be looking at Roku later, manually trading.
Yep.
If the strikes are set up to be at the $56 range, that could be a good option. And it looks like the watch list. Oh wait, where is Roku trading pre-market right now?
Why don't you look that up for me?
I'm gonna do that for you.
By the way, I'm adding both stocks at the same time here, CCJ and Roku. Okay. This is just a confirmation screen. So now those are both added in.
Yeah, so Roku's down pre-market actually. It's down to
Like
about
it.
$54. The strike price that PeakBot would trade for you would be that $56 strike, which
Okay.
looks really good on the chart.
I like it. I also took a look at INTC, Intel Corp. This is trending bearish on our watch list. I'm digging that. Again, not as strong, but when we're looking at the total math here, we're talking 21 between sell and neutral, which I like, and only 5 buy. I'm going to give an Intel an ad as well. And by the way, like my strategy here, if you guys haven't noticed, typically I like to have roughly the same amount of bullish trends as I do bearish, because I don't know what's going to happen with the market this week, right? I don't want to be so in one direction and have the market flip on me and then be a loser on a lot of these. I want to spread out my love here a little bit. I want to be on both sides. That way, if I have some losers in a bear market, at least I had, at least I had some winners as well. I'm going to take a look at one or two more here. So just again, here's the ones I've added. I had Zim. I added WDC, Roku, RCL, Intel, and CCJ, all bullish except for Intel and Roku. The only other ones I really want to look at was Chewy. On the watch list, here's Chewy here. This is, $1.50 spread, paying $28, on 150. I mean, sign me up if the trend is right. So let's go check this out. I'm looking for, what was this? This is bullish. So I'm looking for buy signals here. Good enough for me, honestly. Again, only 5 sell signals here and 21 buy neutral. Let's go for it. So I'm going to add Chewy. I'm going to do 2 on Chewy, actually, just because it's not requiring very much capital. So I'm going to get that in there. And for now, I think that's it. I may take a closer look at a few others before the market opens. The only one I didn't check, okay, I lied. Last one, AA, because I've been trading it forever. And in fact, I had the results pulled up here. This might take a second to load. When we look at AA, now this is for the wheel strategies, so this isn't taking into consideration the trend spread, which we do have that data and we'll publicize it very soon. AA overperforms as opposed to where we would, we expect these strategies to, have a win rate of around 70% because we're selling the 30 delta. So AA been traded 30 weeks, and this is going back to 10-1, so Q4 of last year. It's been good with the average return of 1%. So let's just see what AA is doing. I know it's bullish on the watch list. Let's see what we're looking at here. Very good. I got to add it. So how much capital am I setting aside for AA? It's only a $200 spread. I'll do 2 on here. And I think that'll be it for me right now this week. Again, if I make any additional trades, I'll make sure I post them on X, which, by the way, I think now might be a good time just to state, if you're watching this on YouTube, Instagram, or wherever else, please know Twitter, stay where you're at. But Twitter's been crushing it for us. We have hundreds of viewers live this morning. I don't have the live count, but I'll get it.
It's over 500.
Over 500 views. We appreciate that. So that is my automated portfolio. Remember, I got the Iron Condor running, okay, which is a perfectly neutral strategy, 1 DTE. That's going to enter a new contract for me every day on the Qs. Right now, you can trade the Qs or SPY. Very soon, we'll be adding the cash settled stocks as well, SPX, XSP, all those other ones. Ben, on paper, QQQ typically does better than SPY on our Condor strategy.
From the data that we have, yeah.
Okay, so I like Qs there. Trend spread, and look, once all my cash is available and frees up on Tradier, I'll likely add some wheel contracts on some stocks that I feel good about in the long run, and then I'm comfortable owning. Because remember, with the wheel, if you get assigned shares, we're then selling the 50 delta, buying the 20 on the call side. So I'm earning more premium while owning the shares, which should be considered an asset. Could also be a liability if it goes the wrong way. But that's why we sell the 50 delta, to collect additional premium. Yep. So that's it. And again, you saw it. I took more time than I would normally take to do this. I'm not going to go in every single week and make adjustments to my trend spread strategy. I'll take a quick look, as long as there's not anything glaring, any horrible situations that I wasn't expecting. I'm going to let those contracts roll for a couple months, but at least that's the intention. So
Dillon, I've got a question for you, and I was playing around with GPT, thinking about different segments we could have for our new live show on the Hub starting this Friday, which we'll get into the details of that in just a minute as we're closing out. But I thought it would be cool to have like a cool would you rather question built in that relates to something about trading. So the first would you rather question that GPT gave me was this, and I want you to answer. So would you rather have a fully automated trading system that guarantees a steady but moderate 10% annual return without any intervention, or would you rather have access to an alert system that provides high probability trade opportunities with the potential, not the guarantee, but the potential to achieve 30% annual returns, but requires you to manually execute those trades?
Tough one.
So 10% automated, or you have all the information from an alert, but you have to do it manually, and you could earn up to 30%.
So it's a good question. Not a great one, GPT. Here's why I don't love it, because I don't love the word guarantee thrown in anywhere. But again, it's just a scenario. If we're talking 10% guaranteed, not that PeakBot guarantees a 10% return, but I will also say the reason I don't love the question is because our traders, just on the wheel strategy alone, quick plug, last 52 weeks, average annual return 32 or 33%, while the S&P in that time only returned 22%. So we're beating the market by about 10, 11 points there. But to answer the question,
and 83% of PeakBot traders were profitable over the past 52 weeks.
On the wheel, yes. And we anticipate that being even better with the trend spread and the Iron Condor, quite honestly. But I'm going 10% fully automated. Now I'm
10% guarantee.
spoiled because I made 32% last year on the wheel with PeakBot fully automated. So I hope to do that as much as humanly possible year in and year out. But the fully automated aspect of things is hard to argue with. Okay. 90% of retail traders fail because they don't have the time. Primarily, it's the time and the discipline, and they also lack the strategy, right? So when you can get a winning strategy in place to trade for you consistently, generating income weekly, minimizing your risk, it's really hard to say no to that, especially when the subscription for the software for the PeakBot platform is only $19 a month, up to 99. I mean, giving it
No
away.
brainer.
So, I love an alert. An alert's fantastic. We're going to be providing our alert service here to those who don't have one of the brokers in which we're integrated with and maybe aren't ready to fully trust an automated strategy to trade for you. You'll get there. But 10% fully automated because, for me, I'm about to have a kid, first child. I'm going to have zero time. You're lucky if I'm even going to be on this show. So I'm going to have
Don't tell me we got to bring Thomas back here.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be emotionally drained. I'm going to be making decisions I should never be making when it comes to the stock market. Automate me, hands-free, 10%, with the idea that I can even perform better than that. It's a good question. By the way, quickly, what's your answer? Don't go as long as I did.
Oh, I'm gonna risk it. I'm going for the 30%.
Okay. All right. So you're an alert guy. Really, my answer is both. My answer is both. Give me a 10% automated, and then I'll take some alerts as well.
You want the blend of man and machine.
Yeah. So by the way, if we can get this popped up on screen, Trevor from Twitter says 30%. And by the way, if you're in the audience and you have an answer, throw it in the chat. Trevor, if you're interested, Ben, maybe I'll post this in Twitter. We can put it on screen here. Put our number on screen, and Trevor, if you'd like, text us and just say "in for alerts." And if you're not already on the watch list, there's the number 888-1166. Just text us to that number and say "in for alerts." And we'll get you on the wait list for our alerts service, which we'll be rolling out here very soon. So very good. Yeah, let's implement a would you rather. I like that.
Yeah, no, I think we'll do that on Friday. So let's start to wrap this up. Let's talk about where whoever is still viewing us can find us for the rest of the week. So at 2 p.m. Eastern today, I will be live trading with Thomas. We'll be opening up weekly credit spreads. Again, 2 p.m. Eastern on X. You'll see it on our account, so make sure you follow us. Make sure you turn those alerts on, those notifications on for when we post. We're only posting valuable information. At least I believe so. And then tomorrow morning, Dillon and I will be reviewing all that was automated last week because we're getting in the last bits of our data today. We'll be compiling that, and then we'll be talking about it tomorrow morning. On Friday, typically Dillon and I go live in the morning to recap the week. We're not going to be doing that anymore. At least I don't think we're going to be doing that. I think there's no reason to do both of those. On Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, we will be back on the Tradier Hub, second time slot, where we're going to have a ton of fun live trading. We're going to watch our accounts automatically trade, which is new. You typically would only see that maybe on Mondays with myself and Thomas if we were getting into the later trading window. Rarely happens for us, though. And we'll be bringing guests onto the show, and we'll be having more would you rather type questions, and we'll come up with some other fun stuff to talk about during that show. But the whole point of Friday is, again, we're going to live trade. We're going to get those weekly credit spreads set up. Our trend spread strategy does open positions automatically Fridays at noon. So we're going to be manually and automatically opening positions on Fridays for the week. We choose Fridays because we want that extra day of premium. And then going to the next week, it's important to think about our take profit levels, which is something we're going to get built into the strategies soon here. But that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a crowd on Fridays. It's going to be me, Dillon. We'll get Thomas back on here. We'll have some guests on the show, but we're going to be having a lot of fun trading. So come trade with us. Come think through these would you rathers and other questions that we might throw out during the course of the show. And of course, if you're automating with PeakBot, come automate with us, because that's the best part about this. We can just sit around, talk, and not have to worry about trades being placed because we have a bot that's got our back. So
excellent. Very excited for that. Last thing, I just put it in the chat. Use peakbot.com. This is in the Twitter chat. 50% off. All right. So go to our website, sign up, create your PeakBot account. 50% off. Use code PB50. Okay. All caps PB, like PeakBot, PB50. That's going to get you 50% off of your first subscription, whether it be quarterly or annually. We go basic, standard, pro from $19.49 to $99 a month. Fully automated trading platform for you. Check it out. Let us know if you have questions. Schedule time on our calendars. Text or call us. Use the chat feature in your account. We're here, people. Okay, we're here. Others aren't. Take advantage of that. Use and abuse us. We appreciate you tuning in today. Hopefully we'll see you today live at 2 p.m. for Ben to be peer pressured by Thomas into some live trades. And we'll definitely see you Friday at noon. Join us on your lunch break. Check us out. And again, as always, appreciate everybody. We'll see you at the peak. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Please be sure to take some time to read the disclaimer. Thank you.